Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we're diving straight into a totally fascinating shift in how global infrastructure is built and monetized. If you've ever felt like the giant tech monopolies basically hold all the cards when it comes to the internet and artificial intelligence, well, you're going to find what we're unpacking today incredibly interesting. We are exploring the DePIN revolution, and specifically how the massive AI boom is creating a brand new economy around the everyday internet connection you're already paying for. So let's start with a really provocative thought. What if your unused internet bandwidth could become your newest source of passive income? Think about it. Most of us pay for a 24/7 internet connection, right? Yet we only actually use a tiny fraction of its total capacity. Your idle home Wi-Fi, the connection just sitting there doing absolutely nothing while you sleep or work, might actually be a highly sought-after commodity in today's tech landscape. It sounds a little bit like science fiction, but this is actively happening right now. To give you a sense of scale, just wrap your head around this number: $400 million. That massive figure represents the yearly rewards currently being distributed on Solana's decentralized networks alone. We aren't just talking about some small, niche, hobbyist experiment in a basement somewhere. We're looking at a rapidly growing global economy where everyday users are getting financially compensated for literally just plugging their hardware into decentralized systems. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today's explainer so you know exactly where we're heading. First, we'll break down the DePIN revolution, then look at how it's powering the AI boom, explain the UpRock and Grass networks, dive into the actual earning potential, and finally, weigh the very real risks and rewards. Let's get right to it. Kicking things off with Section 1, the DePIN revolution. We're shifting from corporate CapEx to community networks. To really grasp this whole paradigm shift, we have to zoom out and look at the macro infrastructure that makes it all possible. DePIN. It stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. And here's the core idea. Rather than a single massive corporation spending billions to build out server farms and data scraping centers, DePIN relies on everyday people combining their resources. It uses blockchain tech and cryptocurrency tokens to incentivize people all over the world to contribute real-world physical infrastructure, like compute power, storage, or in this case, internet bandwidth. The protocol itself acts as the coordinator, making sure everything is properly tracked and verified. It's honestly a night and day difference when you compare the old monopoly style to this Web3 collaborative model. In a traditional CapEx or capital expenditure model, a huge telecom or data company raises funds, buys the equipment, and controls everything from the top down. It's wildly expensive and notoriously slow to expand. But the DePIN model? It's bottom up. Because the infrastructure is basically crowdsourced from thousands of independent nodes, the network can be deployed rapidly and flexibly anywhere on the globe, completely bypassing the need for a massive corporate balance sheet. Which brings us to Section 2, powering the AI boom. Let's look at why artificial intelligence is absolutely starving for your data. Look, infrastructure is only valuable if there's actual real-world demand for it. And right now, artificial intelligence models have an insatiable appetite for data, and the traditional way of getting it, centralized data scraping, is literally hitting a brick wall. The AI big data market is projected to triple by 2027. To train smarter, better models, these companies need vast amounts of fresh, diverse, and uncensored web data. But when big AI labs use centralized data center proxies to scrape the web, websites easily detect and block them. They need a local perspective, which, as it turns out, is exactly what your home residential IP address provides. Just look at this absolutely staggering figure: 1 billion gigabytes. That is the amount of data scraped per day by the Grass network alone for AI training. That sheer volume of data acquisition, it just simply isn't possible using traditional corporate servers without getting instantly blocked. It essentially requires a decentralized army of residential internet connections to seamlessly harvest the web's knowledge. Let's get specific in Section 3, UpRock and Grass explained. These are the decentralized networks actually out there harvesting the web. So how does this all build into a functional ecosystem? Well, take UpRock's knowledge acquisition layer. It isn't just a dumb pipe moving data from A to B. It systematically transforms raw web content into structured, highly monetizable AI intelligence. Here's the flow. First, participant nodes orchestrate raw page scans from diverse global IP addresses. Next, the system compresses that data, stripping out all the useless ads and redundant code. Then, machine learning agents synthesize it, adding things like contextual sentiment analysis and image captions. And finally, this enriched data is packaged into paid API streams for enterprise clients and researchers. It's this exact multi-stage pipeline that generates the revenue used to reward users. Now, what's super interesting is when we put the two major players side by side because we see two very distinct strategies. UpRock goes all in on a mobile-first approach, basically turning your smartphone into an active node. They currently boast over 1 million active users with a leaner market cap of around $1.4 million. Grass, on the flip side, is heavily focused on desktop browser extensions. They've built up a larger user base of over 2.5 million devices and have a significantly higher market valuation of over $320 million. So it's the exact same core problem, but tackled through slightly different technical gateways. All right, moving into section 4, the earning potential. How do you actually turn that idle bandwidth into cryptocurrency tokens? So, looking at the practical application for you, if you actually decide to share your bandwidth, it's important to know that platforms like UpRock don't just pay everyone equally. Your rewards are calculated using some very specific geopolitical and technical factors. Your upload and download speeds matter. Obviously, faster is better. Your connection type is absolutely crucial. Stable residential home networks are heavily favored over your phone's 4G or 5G connection. Fascinatingly, they even use a country freedom score. Yep, networks actually place a premium on data coming from transparent, unrestricted environments. And, of course, your total application uptime acts as a multiplier. Consistency is completely key here. But let's ground this in reality for a second. The passive income right now is, well, it's pretty modest. While some early promotional stuff might have hinted at huge windfalls, actual empirical data shows users earning about 70 cents per day. That's roughly $20 to $30 a month. And honestly, that's typically only achieved if you're running multiple devices simultaneously, like a phone, a desktop, and maybe a server, all tied to the same account. It is truly passive income for sure, but it's a slow trickle, definitely not a flood. And we really have to talk about token volatility too. Take the Grass token, for example. After hitting an all-time high of $3.57, the asset took a shark dive down to around $1.10. That is losing roughly 70% of its value. Because you're getting paid in the network's native token, your real-world purchasing power is entirely strapped to the roller coaster of the crypto market. That intense volatility is a huge factor you've got to keep in mind. Which perfectly sets up Section 5, Risks and Rewards. We need to talk about the IP reputation paradox and some harsh market realities. To be completely objective here, we have to look at the systemic risks, because this isn't just free money. There is a real technical trade-off. Running third-party traffic through your residential IP carries severe digital footprint risks. We call this the IP reputation paradox. When your IP address is used to automate massive web scraping, security algorithms might flag your home network as a bot. What does that mean for you? Well, it could completely ruin your email deliverability, sending your personal email straight to spam, or you might suddenly face endless annoying CAPTCHAs just trying to shop online. Plus, depending on where you live, sharing your bandwidth could create regulatory friction or straight up violate your internet service provider's terms of service. Ultimately, the long-term viability of these platforms hinges on real, actual commercial demand. A healthy DEPIN needs a clear path toward usage-driven sustainability. Right now, token rewards are basically bootstrapping the supply side, getting users on board. But think about it. If real AI enterprise clients stop buying the scraped data, the whole incentive loop risks turning into a massive supply-side bubble. The token just cannot be the only engine keeping the network alive. Real dollars have to enter the system from the AI industry for this to truly work. So, I'm going to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. As the AI big data market triples by 2027, will these decentralized community networks ultimately replace centralized corporate infrastructure? DEPIN represents this incredibly fascinating, crowdsourced alternative to traditional tech monopolies, but it is very much still proving its long-term economic model. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Definitely keep an eye on how this sector evolves, because the future of internet infrastructure, well, it might just be running in the background of your smartphone right now.